A boy stood at the window, his back to her, a crown nestled in his coppery hair. Sun heralded him as two seamstresses cinched a belt of gilded lion hairs around his high-collared white fur cape. A wedding cape. As if in response, Sophie's dress began to move on her skin. She flung up her arms in shock as the dress tightened around her ribs, the fabric hardening from lace to crepe and sealing her chest in a creamy bonded bodice. The sleeves sprouted wings and ruffled cuffs, while the hem unraveled to the floor, pulling behind her in a rich white string. Along the edges of the bodice, gold thread wove a pattern of lion heads, matching the boy's belt. The back of Sophie's neck tickled as the collar extended up her neck, higher, then pulled down over her face in diaphanous silk, like a hood or a mask or a fire. Sophie started shaking. A wedding dress. She was trapped in her own wedding dress. The boy turned from the window. Ryan smiled, his face battered and bruised. "Yes, mother," he said, blue-green eyes twinkling. "I think they'll do nicely." "Your mother is inside the dress?" Sophie asked, morning dew dripping off a rose bush onto her waistlands, restored to its prim, ruffled form. "A piece of her, perhaps," said Ryan, walking with her through the royal gardens. Clad in his blue and gold suit, he limped gingerly, Excalibur on his belt. In the sunlight, Sophie could see the mass of wax on his tanned face and neck, still healing. As he bent to inspect a turnip, she glimpsed a scar at the top of his skull, jagged and faded. A scar from long ago. "My mother left that dress to us when she died," he went on. "It has shown signs of life, even given my brother and me answers. But fashioning you a wedding dress? That was a surprise." He peered at Sophie. "Has it done anything else?" Sophie tightened. "No," she lied. "What do you mean it gave you and your brother answers? How can a dress give answers? How can two girls magically appear in a king's bedroom? Each of us has questions, it seems," said Ryan dryly. "Want to see the orange grove?" He moved towards a short staircase ahead. "It's almost finished." Workers clustered on the level below, tending to perfectly square plots of orange trees planted in the pattern of a giant chessboard, a titanic stone fountain of a lion at its center, occasionally shooting jets of mist over the grove. Ryan struggled down the steps, and Sophie took his arm, feeling his muscles resist hers, then slowly soften. At the bottom she let go, and they walked in silence between the squares of trees, the mist from the fountain lacquering their faces. "The crystal, the one that lets a gopher break into my dungeons," said the king, a low branch brushing his crown. "That's how you broke into my bedroom too, isn't it?" "Why don't you ask my dress?" Sophie cooed. Ryan chuckled. They don't make girls like you in fast food. At least not the ones I met when I was in school. Because girls like me go to the school you want to tear down, Sophie remarked. I'm sure you had your share of girls anyway. I had other priorities. Like trying to convince your classmates you were King Stephenson when even your own brother didn't believe you. Ryan side-eyed his princess. And here I thought Kay was impenetrable to girls' vows. I'll have to have a talk with him. Do it tomorrow, Sophie smiled. There would be no tomorrow, of course. She plucked an orange from a tree and peeled open its skin, extracting a slice and holding it out to the king. Is it poisoned? Ryan asked. Naturally, said Sophie. She slipped it into his mouth and he bit into it, the juice dripping off his sketched lips. Their eyes locked. Sophie thought about how, in just a short while, the boy standing in front of her would plunge his sword into his own brother's heart, and how she could rise from behind in his moments of shock and mourning and cut his throat with a single blow. She felt no remorse. The killing would come easy. You're smiling, said Ryan. What are you thinking about? You, Sophie replied. She lifted onto her toes and kissed him, sugary wetness coating her tongue and mixing with the cool mint of his mouth. For the briefest of moments, she thought of waffle. Their lips parted, sticky and sweet. Ryan looked dazed, like she stared at him, before he glanced away and padded forward, trying to steady his limp. I knew you would come back. I knew it. Even when Japan told me I was a fool, I knew that we were meant to be together, king and queen. Ah, the boy who said that he'd never love me. That love made people into foggy-eyed fools. Sophie hastened, fully in control now. Her emerald eyes glimmered with mischief. Suddenly, he isn't seeing so clearly. No, that's not it. Ryan muttered as his clothes shrunk school. It's just, you could have stayed with your friends, but you were loyal to me instead, when you didn't need to be. And loyalty is something I haven't had much on my life. You have the loyalty of your men and the rulers around you, Sophie pointed out. You have Kay's loyalty, and your brothers.